Hi everybody, I'm Gwen and welcome to At Home with Gigi. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today's video is part of a collaboration. It's called Celebrating Freedom, and I'll tell you more about that in just a bit. But we could create either a vignette or a tiered tray. So I chose the vignette and created a couple of DIYs, and I can't wait to share that with you. So let's get started. We're going to use these letters that came from Michael's last year. I got them on clearance, and we're going to be decoupaging them. But first, we're going to give them one coat of the Rust-Oleum chalk paint in white linen. As I mentioned earlier, I am so happy to be part of this collaboration called Celebrating Freedom, and our host for this video is Deborah at Deborah Cabasa Home Living and Anna at the Grace Life DIY Home Decor, and I'll have their channels along with all of our co-hosts listed down in the description box along with that playlist, so make sure you go check out all these wonderfully talented ladies. After the paint's dried, I went ahead and gave each of the letters a coat of the Mod Podge and let that dry before we move on to the next step. And we're going to be using these beautiful napkins from Hobby Lobby. We're only going to be using one napkin for all three letters, but this is a 3-ply napkin, so just make sure you remove all of your plies. I've gone ahead and cut down the napkin, and for the U, we're going to be using the section that looks like the United States flag. And for the S and the A, we'll use different sections of the napkins for the stars and stripes. And you'll see what I mean in just a moment. My favorite way to decoupage is the iron-on method, and that's where I put down the layer of Mod Podge and let it dry, and then I place my napkin on top of whatever surface I'm going to be decoupaging, place the parchment sheet on top of the paper, and then as you can see, I'm just very lightly running my iron that's on very low setting over the napkin, and it just reactivates that Mod Podge, and see what a beautiful smooth finish you have. I love it. I will have to use 3 pieces of napkin to cover the letter because, as you can see, they're small, and I'm just going to use the exact same method to attach the napkin. I'm just lining up the napkin as best I can because I want those lines to look like they're pretty seamless, and as you can see, I forgot the parchment paper, but this worked out pretty well, y'all. But just be careful that you don't have excess Mod Podge for it to stick to your surface. And then I'm just going to do the same thing on the side right there just to cover that little edge. And as you can see, I'm just tapping with the tip of the iron just to make it adhere. And then later I'll go back and sand off the excess. And then I decided to not press my luck anymore and use the parchment paper for the A, and then I just basically did the exact same thing with lining up the extra piece of napkin at the bottom. And I'm just going to use my favorite method, a combination of my finger sander and nail file to remove the excess napkin, and I just love the finish that it gives. One other thing, I did take these outside and I gave them a good spray with Mod Podge adhesive just to make sure the napkins are all sealed in. And I just love how these turned out. I think they're the perfect touch to my vignette, and they were so easy to make. We're going to be creating a door hanger or a shelf setter with this Uncle Sam top hat that came from Michael's, and we're going to be giving it one coat of Rust-Oleum chalk paint and linen white. And then after it's dried, as you can see, I've already taped it off. For my lines, I'm going to be using the Apple Barrel bright red because I was almost out of the crimson red from Waverly chalk paint, so I had to make do with this. But I wish that I had thought to add some of my plaster of Paris to it just to thicken it up a bit, but for whatever reason I did not think of that. And I ended up having to give it 3 coats to get the coverage that I wanted. Unfortunately, I did have some bleed through, as you can see, but What I did to fix some of it, I couldn't fix all of it. It would just take way too much time. I just took my little finger sander and just very gently ran along the edges and removed some of the red paint, and then I just went back with a very fine tipped paintbrush and then just went over it with some more of the white linen. Next, I'm just going to go in and I'm going to paint the band of the hat with Apple Barrel's Admiral Blue, and I gave that 2 coats as well. Once the band was dry, I just went in and gave the brim 2 coats of the Apple Barrel in bright red. I'm going to add this 4 to the front of the hat, and I really want it to stand out and pop against the red and white stripes. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a coat of the Admiral Blue, and then once that dries, I'm going to add a layer of Mod Podge, and then we're going to add some dark blue glitter. Once everything was dry, I took it outside and I brushed off all the excess glitter, and then I sprayed it really well with some sprayed Mod Podge just to make sure this glitter is going to stay in place. It's the 4th of July, so of course we have to have some stars, and these came from the Dollar Tree. You can pick these up during the holidays. They're the little gold ones, and I just gave them 2 coats of Rust-Oleum white linen and then sprinkled them with some white glitter. For the word July, I'm going to be using these galvanized letters from the Dollar Tree, and I started out painting them white with Rust-Oleum white linen, and I'm like, nah, the stars are white, let's do something else. So the little bit of crimson that I had left, I went ahead and painted the letters red, and I think they look so much better. And I'm just showing you that I used the Gorilla Gel glue, and I just glued them to the front of the stars. I'm just going to use a little bit more of the Gorilla Gel glue because this glue sets up so quickly I didn't have to use any of the hot glue, and I'm just going to add them across the blue band. And then I'm just going to pop the number 4 right into the center of the hat and I'm going to call it finished. And I think this is just so adorable and just so festive for the 4th of July. I just love how my little vignette or my hutch turns out. I decorate it every season, every holiday, and I love to just pull things from around my home. As you can see, I've used DIYs from the past and the 2 from today. And I just love this. Do you have a certain area of your home that you decorate every season or every holiday? Comment down below and let me know. Thank you so much to Deborah and Anna who hosted this wonderful collab, and all the fabulous co-hosts. Guys, please don't forget to go and check out the playlist down in the description box, and I'll have all the hosts and co-hosts linked there as well. And I thank you so very much for being here today. I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I hope you'll give me a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Bye!